JPAY music.
We be on that highway, gotta move it. Told the plug I'm good for 40 bricks, I gotta prove it. Niggas take my kindness for a weakness, they abuse. Yeah, this is your man Kilogram, You Better Not Lie podcast, Juicy-Jaleen.
You was poppy,
This is episode 106, the illest light-skinned nigga in Nebraska. You know what I mean? I got my man Dutchie-Man from Major Figgas in the building. Dutch, what's good, bro?
What's happening with you, homie?
How you feeling today, King?
Oh, man, I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me on the show,
No problem,
bro.
man. Thank you, man. You know, like, Major Figgas was a big part of my life, man. Just coming up, watching y'all cats in Philly doing y'all thing. I was inspired. I was coming off the porch wanting to be a rapper late 90s. And y'all set the bar, man. Y'all was the Philadelphia Locks. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I could describe y'all.
Like I tell everybody that tells me that, thank you for listening, bro.
Right.
Right. That's what really mattered to me is that people actually took a listen to what I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the hardest part for real in music is to get people to listen. So if you heard something and it inspired you and it made you feel dope, thank you for listening, bro, because that was my only intention.
I appreciate that.
So you helped me fulfill a dream.
Right, and guess what? You know, you guys, all 11 members, y'all did what y'all got to do, and I'm going to count. I don't know if you know if it's 11 members, but I'm going to tell you who they are. All right,
you gonna tell me? Okay, I would love to hear this one. I want to hear this one.
Sometimes some members don't get counted, but I'm hoping you count everybody in. You know what I mean?
Listen,
you seem like a nice guy.
Let's get into it.
All right, okay, so listen, man. Like I told y'all before,
let me get a little bit more comfortable, man.
This is episode 106, the illest light-skinned nigga in Nebraska. This nigga will take your bitch. I promise you.
Who?
Dutch is a dangerous man. You heard? You don't know Dutch from back in the day, Dutch.
I don't be stealing nobody.
Oh, you don't steal girls? Okay, cool. All right.
Why? Nah.
We gonna go into that. All right, so listen, can I give you your flowers?
Yeah.
Dutchie-Man from Major Figgas. Dutch is one of 11 members of the iconic Philadelphia rap group that kicked the door off the hinges for the city of Philadelphia. All 11 members include Bump J, Bianca, Spade-O, Gilly the Kid, Wallow, rest in peace Chops. I don't know if Rucky passed. Did Rucky pass too? So rest in peace, Chops and Rucky, El Dinero, Reese Rolex, and my man, rest in peace, Dirty Reek. Are you jacking Dirty Reek as an official member? Okay, cool.
Well, when I say that, a member of Major Figgas.
Major
clique,
Figgas?
Not the group, though.
Oh, so Major Figgas was more like a crew, but not a group. Okay, so I'm glad you cleared that up because we as the fans, we had...
No, we had a crew.
Okay.
And then we had the group.
And then y'all had the group.
Yeah.
So who's the official members of the group? I think that's good to be talked about.
Gilly, Spade, Bump, Rolly, Bianca, Lava.
Okay, and Ab Lava is also a major, important part of Major Figgas. He's the eldest member.
Right.
Salute to Ab. Ab, shout out for sending that clip for Santos to my man Pusha T. We went viral off of that. 50,000 views in a day. So Ab, continue to be putting on for the youth. I appreciate that, bro.
Sure.
All right, so listen.
We call Lava the Don.
He's the Don.
Yeah,
the 6'9" Don.
Yeah, he's the Don. Like,
damn, 6'9"?
Yeah, Lava can't, when he walk indoors and she got lean over.
Please tell me he played for Alany, Strawberry Mansion.
Man,
what did he do?
Nah, hey,
was he down 16th and Susquehanna playing in the summer league? He's just a tall nigga that got good rap.
He just the Don.
Oh,
man. It's hard to explain.
Salute to the Don, man. We gotta get the Don on here too. And you know, me and you.
I got you.
We're gonna quarterback it.
Yeah, him and Spade got Glorified about to come out. They got an album called Glory. They doing the second part.
Okay.
Glorified. So
is it his album?
No, it's him and Spade. They did.
Oh, that's gonna be fire.
He is like everybody just weirdly just like teams up.
Are you featuring on that?
No, it's their album.
Their album.
So it's like
I like
this is already them two featuring each other. So it's like they ain't even use no features. And the way that Lava does his production is like he helps produce the record as well. Like, you know, he sits there and makes sure that they sonically is, you know, doing the right thing because some artists put out music and they gauge be turned a little bit too far.
Right.
You want to have that joint balance, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The yin and the yang, you want to stay in the middle.
I love it. I love that. I know we spending a lot of time on Lava, but I'm giving him his flowers for showing a little podcast with a dream some love. So I like the fact that he's like...
Ain't nothing little about your podcast, bro. What you
gotta
talk
do
is...
to us.
You gotta put it like this, man. Everything start off little.
That's a fact.
We started off little. We was babies.
Right.
I know I'm flyer than a motherfucker at this
Talk your
point.
shit.
You know what I'm talking
Talk
about?
your shit.
When I was a baby, I ain't know nothing about none of that.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. I got you.
So,
All right, so let me finish giving you your flowers, and you can correct me, right? Dutch has recorded records with Cameron, Beanie Siegel. I want you to interject right now because I looked online. They don't have. Did you guys release an album with Undias?
Entertainment? No.
Okay, because
no, we never
y'all
got
had a
chance to
demo
release.
online though.
No, what we did was we dropped. At that time, you could drop stuff like lost tapes and stuff like
there
that.
you go. Yeah, there you go. I seen that.
And it's used just for promotion because
Right.
you only use the records that you really not going. They're going to be fillers.
Yeah.
So at that time, it was no social media, so we had to do what we had to do to get.
Okay,
you know.
so tell the fans right now. We got Cameron. I know you recorded with your crew, Major Figgas, but did you you got Cameron and Beanie Siegel that you did songs with? Who else did you record with professionally? Like Nori, like anybody out there that you got songs with?
Nori,
Right.
Ludacris, Wyclef.
Right.
Me and Kim did a official remix to Rihanna "So Hard."
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's pretty much your major big feature.
Yeah, I mean, Cash Money Records, like you know.
Okay, so you got songs with Wayne?
No, I got songs with Baby though.
Oh, you got songs with Baby. Okay, all right, no problem. All right, and you also Dutch has been seen on top podcasts like My Expert Opinion, Bag Fuel, and he released a few commercial releases on a major record label with his gang or his crew, Major Figgas. So we're gonna go right into it. Tell me about growing up in North Philly. This is a three-part question, right? Growing up in North Philly, did you have both parents? And how many brothers and sisters you got?
Okay, so I got a brother and a sister. I'm the eldest of them.
Okay.
My dad was around.
Right.
He was in the Army for a long time.
Okay.
And sometimes the Army does things to people that, you know, they are unable to be. No, I don't think nobody in this world could do two things at one time, but think and, you know, speak and clean and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm saying you can't be in America and be in the Army at the same time. So
Facts.
do I fault him for not being there sometimes, even though him and my mom did split up?
Right.
He still was around.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But from age 14 up, I was my brother and sister
You was
parent.
their father.
Yeah.
Their father figure.
Yeah.
Okay. But was he local? Did he live in the area?
I mean, at times I ain't know where he lived at.
Right. Okay.
It wasn't my business.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you as a kid, you don't even know what's really going on. But then when I got older and I look at my dad, I'm like, damn, I got 5 children now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, you know, damn, Dad, I understand what you was going through.
No, before you go, I want to say that too, because my father left the house when I was 2 years old, right? So growing up with my mom, and we lived in the projects, you know, your mom always tell you one side, oh, your dad ain't this, your dad ain't that, right?
Right.
And then I had a conversation with my pop, and he said, I left Trenton when I was 21 years old. He said, all I wanted to do was sell drugs, play dice outside, shoot some heroin with my niggas. This is the 70s. You know, they had the good shit.
Right,
It's called junk.
Smack.
He was
doing, he was doing smack.
He said, this is what he asked me though, and I'm gonna let my co-host do her thing. He said, son, was you a man at 21? And I said, damn, I was in college at 21, trying to find a skirt. You know what I mean?
Yada shada me. He was trying to yada shada me.
So to answer his question, I forgave my pop on the spot right then and there.
No, no doubt.
He was the type of nigga to me. What my mom told me all the stories. He ain't want to come home. He in the bar with women, and I was like, he was a monster to me when I'm 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, I mean, we just have to understand
Right.
the duality and being just some people.
There you go.
I'm just some guy. You just some guy. She's just some girl. We all just some people.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's loaned to us.
I like that perspective.
You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question in its entirety, yes, I did grow up with 2 parents.
Right.
Not all the time, but I did have them around.
Okay.
Growing up, I've been in the music business, I would say, since '88 because I did my first record when I was 8 years old. You feel what I'm saying? No, we're not gonna skip, but I'm just saying that's what growing up. That's growing up like. So I grew up my dad plays percussion.
Right.
I used to watch him build conga drums in the house with cow hide and put it in the tub, stretch it, make drums,
That's
So
culture,
yeah, I grew up
Sure
with the sound of a drum.
Right.
So it would only make sense to follow that.
I like that. But that's the drum. They had no words.
Yeah.
So we'll
But
expound on that.
your voice is an instrument.
I got you. I know. I'm just saying. You heard the sonic side of it. But you didn't hear the, you came outside adding words with the beat.
Right.
It was just different.
Right.
Go ahead, cook, Juice. Cook, Juice. Cook.
All right, so growing up, we still want to younger you. Did you play any sports in school? Like, what was it like growing up in Philly?
I played for the Tabor Rams.
Football.
Yeah, football.
What position
on
you played?
Tabor Road. I was a safety,
Okay.
and I didn't last long.
How long would you say it lasted?
We did this drill where you lay on the ground, right? They blow the whistle, you turn over, they turn over, and then y'all run into each other. And so at this time, it's a kid named David LeBeau who ended up playing for the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
My team.
This kid was like, he looked like he was 38 years old.
Right.
They blow the whistle, we stand up, start running towards each other. He smacked me, bang, helmet to helmet. I know in cartoons and shit you supposed to, the stars and shit, but I'm telling you, this was the first time in life I took my helmet off.
Right.
I said, I'm never coming back here.
Right. It's not that serious.
No,
Nobody's
I
paying
wanted to
us.
fuck him up. If I see David LeBeau today, he traumatized me as a kid. But yeah, I tried that. Played basketball on the block, but never really was good at that.
Right.
Boxing, I was good at that. My son is actually 2-0 right now.
Okay.
Respect.
Yeah, so I did do some sports, but I really always loved music and just being a rebel.
Was you a gamer?
I bought the games just because they was out.
Right, Nintendo.
Like,
Did
I
you
had
have
that.
to blow in the cartridge?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Put it in the freezer. Old niggas salute.
Yeah, fucking right.
My brother
You got
used
to
to
blow
say,
the
"It's
dust
in
up
the
out that
freezer.
motherfucker.
It's gonna never conk out now."
You hear me? You got to blow the dice up out that
First of
motherfucker.
all, like, you forget that I have brothers. That's like
So they told you
close
about
to
the
your
freezer?
age. Like,
They told you about blowing in the cartridge? 91. I don't know if they was
used to
doing
play
that in 90.
Nintendo, even though I was little, and be like,
We
JJ,
would-
can you do
I don't
this?
know. I don't even know.
Oh,
Like,
you so
JJ, can you
cute.
fix this?
Look, but
for
I
me?
don't even know why we was doing that because then when
Right.
we take the games to get clean, the dude in the joint take a Q-tip. He take the Q-tip, dip it in some alcohol,
Right.
rub it on a motherfucking chip, and we in there talking
I
about.
was actually
Right.
We adding chicken nuggets, mom cooked, the broccoli. I'm dead
All
up.
niggas-
I
I'm
was
dead.
actually
No, real
reading
rap.
that
Like
that didn't work.
we damaging the game more than we
Project
helping
shit.
That's
it,
what
and it's
they
like.
said on the article I just
Yeah.
read.
Right.
We was
We was
messing it
damaging
up.
it.
Listen,
Blowing into
saliva
it.
got
Yeah, they said
everything
it wasn't
in it.
working. Whatever we thought we was doing, we wasn't
Right.
doing.
I'm
Then
it.
our parents go to help us. They might have smoked some weed and cigarettes and shit.
You took what I was about to say. You ever see a nigga blow the cartridge, pause, right? And then
Dude, what?
he blow the cartridge. Blow the cartridge. I know it's a pause. I
He
said
going to
pause.
say it, and then you go ahead and said it twice.
No, listen. Blow the cartridge is wild, but
You said it again.
yeah. Hey, Dutch, listen. A nigga will pass it to you for you to put your lips
All you
on
did
it.
was try to clean the game
that
that,
is
goes
sad,
into
it's
your
sad.
gaming console.
Like,
You don't
Chris, you're
gotta.
doing too much in the moment.
You don't gotta BL the cartridge. You know what I mean?
What kind of student
So I-
were you in school though?
Oh, that's a good question. God. What type of student
I
was
was a great student in school. Where school went wrong for me is my mother. We grew up on Section 8.
Right.
you? Okay.
So when you're on Section 8, sometimes you have to move
Right.
a lot. So it would be, 10 years. Sometimes they'll let you stay somewhere. So me moving places, like I moved to 33rd and Cecil B. Moore and started my first grade, stuff like that. And people would try to bully me because I was the only Puerto Rican kid
I was
going
gonna
to
say
school.
The light-skinned one.
Yeah, so then I let that shit go on to probably I was 14 years old, and then I just couldn't take it no more.
Ask him about that. Ask him about her.
Tell me about Mark.
What, Mark?
Mark, the one that
You don't
bullied
even
you in school. Then you said Mark.
Oh yeah, Mark.
What happened with
How
Mark?
the fuck you know Mark?
Come on, son. I'm in these streets.
Yeah, Mark. So it was Mark. He had a box like this.
Right.
It was around the kid in playtime. His box was high as a motherfucker, right? This motherfucker called me a spick.
Right.
And his
Oh, yeah,
chain
that's right.
and
What class was y'all in?
science class.
He remembered.
It's the tables. You know how the tables is in science
Right.
class? Like I punched him right up under that motherfucking table.
I know that's right.
I couldn't take it no more. Y'all gonna leave Antonio the fuck alone.
Okay.
Ooh, Antonio.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna keep beating me the fuck up for nothing because my mom buy me nice clothes.
Period.
The fuck?
But nah, just so you don't think I'm weird, I watched your interview on Math.
Okay, no, yeah, but
Can you look in the mirror and talk to Mark for a second. What would you do to Mark in 2024?
Look at his face.
that's how I would do
Because
tomorrow.
Mark might be somewhere. He in the gym. You still think you can fuck him up in 2024?
Look at him. He like, I'll put Mark right
I'm
under that
just
table
asking.
again. You better stop playing with me.
You told Mark you was gonna knock you the fuck out on Math Hoffa show.
Look at his
Right.
face.
All right, so listen, we're gonna go straight to hip hop. What are some of your earliest influence in hip hop? Meaning, who brought you outside? Who inspired you to do this?
My Uncle Mike.
Your Uncle Mike. Talk about your Uncle Mike.
My Uncle Mike was just like, he always been in the music.
Is this your dad, brother, or your mom?
No, my aunt's ex-husband.
Your aunt's husband. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, he took my brother and myself to the studio the
Right.
first time.
Okay.
Recorded a record for us, and then her shows would be at like Thanksgiving
Let's
and
get it.
Easter and shit like
Right,
that.
right.
So we was only 8 years old, you know what I'm saying? We was just
Right.
doing it for fun.
Okay.
And then by the time I moved up Erie Avenue, Bump was having block parties.
Okay.
So-
Wait, that's one of my questions. But I'm talking about artists.
Well,
And you ain't listen to Run DMC, Walk This Way.
oh, you saying who
Yeah,
inspired
influence,
me?
yeah, like Special Ed, you from that era.
No,
was
I'm
they?
gonna say Tupac inspired me.
God
Okay.
damn, this is the second person that been here said Tupac.
Cause you,
It must be a Philly thing.
It's a
no, it's just come on, man.
Which album?
I mean, I live.
All of them.
Did you start with Strictly for My Niggas?
I started with all that,
I thought you light skinned niggas didn't listen.
and the
Tupac.
Ghetto
you-
Boys,
Huh?
the Ghetto Boys too.
See, one thing about Philly, y'all do have a.
You
y'all-
keep talking about light skinned niggas. I'm the right skin. I ain't light skinned. What are you talking about? I'll tell you what happened to Mark.
Nice little curve.
I'll tell you what
I
happened
like
to
that.
Mark.
comeback,
Keep bullying
the
me. You
light
gonna
skin.
bully
All right.
me?
Y'all was you listen. We gonna keep going. I told you this is
my
like your cousin at the cookout. We gonna
Nah.
argue. We gonna smile.
Nah,
we gonna
I'm
have
fucking
fun.
with you. No, but yeah, Ghetto Boys. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Snoop Dogg, people like that.
Okay, so you wasn't into the Rockims, the
I wasn't
Steady
that
B's.
old.
It's right in your hood. Steady B's,
Nah, I'm 43. I ain't.
Yeah.
It's in my era, but I'm still a kid. You
Right,
gotta
yeah,
think
that's
in
right.
82, 83, 84, we still was 4 years old
Run
and shit
DMC
like that.
came out. It was 88. We was 10.
No, we was 8. I was 8.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10. I'm just putting on.
1988. We born whatever you know. You
Yeah,
do.
late 70s.
Yeah. So
But you
Old
ain't.
as shit. Anyway, so.
Yeah.
so you 79.
Yeah. Yes,
Right.
sir.
So 79. You figure 88.
Yeah,
You was 9.
Right. Yeah, so 9, 10, but we was outside listening to Walk This Way. You ain't like my Adidas.
2009,
My
you was
Adidas.
30.
Walk through college. What? That ain't banging Philly? Eh.
I ain't like it. I wasn't listening to that.
All right, cool. Okay, go ahead, Juice. Do your thing.
I like listening to the
So
Ghetto
you-
Boys and shit. My uncles.
I'm about to get you, bro. I'm about to get you.
You obviously mentioned that you're mixed, right? So you're Puerto Rican.
Talk your shit.
So is mom Puerto Rican, dad like
My
what-
dad.
who-
My dad's father is from Venezuela, and my dad's mother is from Rio Grande, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Real Puerto
So I'm fucked the fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't know what I
You
am.
the plug.
A little bit of everything.
I don't
Plug's
know.
nephew.
You gotta do a DNA thing and see.
I don't
what
even
it-
want to know.
You posted a picture of your dad for his birthday, so happy anniversary around the sun to Pops.
Yeah,
this was a
salute,
couple
Pop.
days ago, right?
Salute, Pop.
Like, how long ago was his birthday? What's
The 4th.
The 4th of this month?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
He the 4th. I'm the 15th. My brother the 27th.
Well,
So y'all all in
damn.
June.
Yeah.
Pop,
Y'all all the same sign?
Yeah.
pop stroke game mean.
And y'all
No,
all
but
get
my brother had cancer. So he missed
Okay.
it by a little bit, but me and my dad both.
But your pops look like he from Narcos, bro. Like that's when I knew. I said, Dutch. I never knew Dutch was mixed.
My dad.
Your dad looked like he was hanging around with Pablo Escobar, bro.
He's just a Puerto Rican
Oh, for real?
Old head that
He said
love,
Puerto Rico old head.
love boxing and
Yeah. I think
being
you
an
gotta know
Army
how to fight when
guy.
you got
You play
curly fries.
dominoes? You play dominoes?
Of course. You gotta play that. You ain't Spanish if you don't play dominoes.
The fact.
All right, so Dutch, listen. Every time you get a rapper on the podcast,
Mm.
do you have any tough shootout stories, juvenile jail stays, CF overnights, hustling, selling crack stories that you could tell the podcast? No rapper stories?
No, I don't. I would never relive those things.
Okay.
So some things you just don't put out in the public.
Right.
I think those things will go with me to my grave.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I mean? Like it's certain things I just won't talk about.
Yeah.
And that type of stuff, it could be not even by us.
Right.
When stuff hit YouTube, people take clips and they chop them up. They steal so much material out here.
Right.
I say something, now they making it look like I'm telling kids to do this.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So, I would never even self-incriminate myself with nothing.
Well, I
so.
was talking about in the past, bro. You know,
No, not
Okay.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I just wanted to see if you ever woke up in an orange jumpsuit, brother. You're a
I
rapper.
think we all did.
Yeah, I'm saying, can you give us a
Nah,
time?
me, I worked in the jail, but I never was in a jumpsuit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was a
She was
CF.
a correctional
Oh, okay.
officer. Yeah, yeah. But have you been on the other side in the orange jumpsuit doing processing? Like, you know, they like that stuff right there. I just wanted to know.
I had some
You had some nights.
rough Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, I had some rough Jones.
See, I could do a crime with you. Because you ain't giving up
No,
no
we
damn
see,
tapes.
here we
You
go.
ain't giving up no tapes.
We not doing no
All right,
crime.
look, we gonna get off the crime
not-
stuff. We gonna get off the Graham trying to get you to tell.
This
about
episode was brought to you by
This is you
Peaceful
better
Black
not
Men.
lie.
Look, this episode was brought to you by Peaceful Black Men.
Peaceful black
This is
man.
out there.
I
This
love it.
episode was brought to you
thought
by
you came-
allegedly
you
we
sit here
didn't
talking
do
like this.
shit.
Well, look, this is like, he think he had Gayle King. Well, you know,
No.
it's all about the kids, the future. Like, we want the Dutch. We want Dutch on EA.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
I'm fucking with you.
I get it, but it's like
I know. See, look,
you would have to been around.
right, I got you. I like that, Dutch. You
You know
old
what
school
I'm saying?
niggas. bro.
Yeah,
Niggas
no,
don't
it's
talk
just
about they shit that they
what's
do.
understood don't need to be talked about.
like
You
it.
feel what I'm
Let's
saying?
talk
A
to
tree could lose the leaves. It's still a tree.
Dang.
Ah,
When the OGs come
okay,
outside, you gotta
right,
listen.
You gotta listen. All right, so on my excerpt of pain, you talked about being an Army brat. You mentioned your father was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
So did you ever like live on base with him? Did he ever live on base? Was it a situation
He
like
just
that?
was traveling a lot in the
So he
war.
just-
So he went to Iraq. He went, Bosnia.
Right.
He was in a lot of those wars.
Okay.
So
Y'all didn't have a base that y'all lived on, like Fort Dix or.
we had a house, and then
Okay.
my dad would go.
Right.
You gotta remember this was he went in 1980,
Okay, got you. You was a
the
young
year
man
that I
that
was
year.
born.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why he went in.
Okay.
Was to take care of me.
Got you.
So with him getting in there, then he became a tank crew sergeant.
Okay.
And they sent him to war. You know what I'm saying? I remember my dad calling me and you could hear the shit in the background.
Pow, pow, pow.
And
Oh,
no
gosh.
numbers come up, nothing. Yeah. It's like, it was crazy. Yeah, but nah, we didn't, my dad just went to work.
That's it. And when he came out, I guess he just. I'm gonna let Juicy cook.
But he got a sleeping machine now. He don't sleep at all at night.
Right, he got
He
the sleep
stays
app?
up all night.
So he snore.
Nah, he just don't sleep. He got to use a sleeping machine. So,
Okay. All right. All right. So listen, I always wanted to ask. I wanted to let you know, give you a little history about me. I'm friends with Gilly. Me and Gilly got a couple records together.
Okay.
I'm friends with Bump J. We got some records together. I told you I'm tied to Bump's guys in New Jersey, Yanti and Flashy Freddie, the
of
Deadly
course.
Snakes.
I love them guys.
I know you do.
Yanti started me
Right,
out.
Yanti's my heart. Yanti gave me a lot of production. He produced a record for me that catapulted my career, the joint that I did with Petey Crack. So salute to, Yanti, Flashy Freddie, Big Noise Production. But I wanted to talk about Bump J. You, on several interviews, you are one of the major figures that gives Bump his flowers a lot. And I always wanted to know, is it true that Bump brought you into the group?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I want to tell you this, right? And I want you to take this with you, and I want everybody out there to take
Right.
this with them. Nobody need no flowers. We just need water. God has given us all flowers. You feel what I'm saying? We just need the water just to keep them nurtured.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or a little bit more space to grow some more.
Right.
So, I just be giving Bump the water that he needs, you know what I'm saying? And allowing people to know that it's a derivative to everything that happens in life.
Right.
Where I derive from, that's a guy that believed in me and brought me around a lot of people.
Right.
From Jada Kiss to, you know what I'm saying? My relationships with these people started through Bump.
That's dope.
So, not only is that my brother, that's my doobie brother. That's what we call each other, the doobie brother. So
I want to expound on that. Why does it seem, Bump got success with the group, but why does it seem like out of all the major figures, Bump never really got the shine that he deserved? Like the solo album, the solo deal, or like it just seems like, and I love Bump, but it just seems like he's the forgotten member of major figures.
I think it is due to you get what God has in store for you. You feel what I'm saying? It's like if you were meant to do something, it's going to happen.
Right.
You time to me doesn't exist. It's going to happen when it's supposed to. We can't say things like if we walked out the door, it would have happened this way. No, it doesn't.
Right.
Everything is
Right. God's
will. Okay. So it's like maybe it just wasn't the right time. Maybe Bump needed to get on at this time. Maybe didn't.
But to play devil's advocate, right? Look at a guy that he's discovered you. Like you coming, because I seen a lot of interviews you say, yo, I just kept coming around. Bump just advocated for me. Then next thing I know, I'm in the figures.
Right.
You feel me? But you rose to be one of the prominent faces of major figures. And here's a guy that not put you in because you did the work, but he introduced you to the guys, and then you just rose to fame. Did he always support you in the background? Like, go, my nigga, go. That's what's up.
I met Bump. I was 15 at his block party. I was performing on the stage. I didn't know how to write no 16 bars or none of that.
Right.
So Yanti told Bump to show me how to do that.
Salute to Yanti.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just timing, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Timing. It's like, yeah, I wish that it would have happened that way, but he did have a situation. He was a part of Major Figgas, so it's like,
oh yeah, definitely.
You as an individual, you just can't stop putting out music. I only became what I became was because to this day, I still put out content.
Right. And one thing I want to say to Bump is that he always kept his sword sharp. Because I did a record with Bump in a group called The Feds, because I was signed to DJ Coriat. So we tried to imitate y'all. We had, I'm going to keep it tall. Y'all had, listen.
No.
Hey, Dutch, you got to let me tell my story on you.
Let him tell this, please.
Bro.
Let him tell this, please.
Coriat tried to make a group that looks like The Figures. He had male rappers and one female.
But yeah,
Bomb Threat Entertainment, 1999.
You know what's so crazy about that?
You ever heard of it?
People
You ever heard
had
Coriat?
clones in 1999. He was a genius.
Shout out to Niecy. She was our female rapper in the group. We had our face on
Niecy
the
was y'all Bianca.
Huh?
Niecy was y'all Bianca.
She was our Bianca, and she was cute too.
Ain't nothing
and
wrong
I want to
with
make a confession, or you better not lie.
Oh God.
I was in love with Bianca.
Who don't you
Just
love?
like everybody was. She was that bitch. Wasn't Bianca that bitch?
Yeah.
You never seen a fly little light-skinned chick spitting around a bunch of hungry niggas. I always wanted to know.
Bro, B would get her way on the road being the only girl. She'd go to the label and be like, I'm the only girl. I need to go shopping.
Yeah, I used to love
They giving her $30,000 shopping sprees.
played her cards very right.
We getting $1,500.
Back in the
was
day,
hot,
Bianca was a heartthrob, bro. I don't think, maybe y'all didn't know, but the fans.
Well, she was our sister and still is
That's
our
what I'm
sister,
saying.
so
Y'all
we
looked
didn't.
at her like-
we didn't look at her
Niggas
like
love
that.
Bianca, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Niggas to kill for Bianca.
I never look at her like that.
Yeah, I'm sure you
know
did.
what I'm
That's
saying?
your sis. That's your sis.
Yeah, it's like
So where we at, Juice?
So in the late 90s, Major Figure was probably one of the hottest groups in Philadelphia. Describe the feeling of being a part of Major Figures at 16, 17.
Damn. 16, 17, you one of the hottest in the fucking city.
Like, how did you take on all that fame? What did you do?
Being
Like,
light skinned with curly hair.
oh my, it's the light skin stuff for me.
I wanted to do something in life, just something that was decent.
Right.
And I always looked at TV and was like, damn, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I just applied myself and applied myself. Nobody expects fame. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like, to this day, like, everybody walk up, yo, oh man, I love you on camera and album. And yada. And I just be like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I be feeling like I'm too humble, but I can't be like weird. Like, I'm just human. I don't dehumanize myself. So it really wasn't me doing nothing but what I was already doing.
I think with age you became like that, but in the height of you being Dutch, I don't think you was always so mellow and relaxed.
No, it wasn't that. I was just confident.
You was confident.
I wasn't cocky. I was confident. I just had fun and laughed and joked and spent money.
Okay. Well, I want to piggyback off that, right? And I know you're going to give me some Malcolm X answer, but I need you to be Dutch on this one. Go back to 1999, Dutch, when I asked you this question. Because this is the one that's going to go viral. You said you gave me the real members. So I'm going to speak on the real members of the group, or the ones that were in the group, not the crew. Mm-hmm. Who got the most bitches out of Major Figgas?
Me and Bump.
You and Bump?
You and Bump.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, I knew you was going to put yourself in there. I just knew it. You got the most bitches. You and Bump got the most bitches. So how did you calculate it? Did y'all keep score, or you just know when y'all went places who went the craziest?
If you on the road and some nights niggas ain't got no work in their room.
Listen, you never said this on no podcast.
Nah, niggas, I mean, Bump, they gonna laugh at it, but me and Bump, they can't
Gilly
lie.
on your ass. You know Bump, that Gilly on your ass, right?
Gil and Spade had a good run, right? They had a good run, but me and
you and Bump was snipers.
Because you gotta remember, right?
Right.
You know by who waiting outside the hotel for you. When we leave from the show, whatever city we went to, thickeroni and cheese waiting outside. It was.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it back to something he said that's fire. He said, "You know what you doing, but if you ain't got no work in your room, that's wild. That's wild. So you had a lot of work in your room.
Yeah, I had this one joint. I don't want to say her name, but we called the Devil in the Blue Dress.
Right.
I took her around to everybody's room. She had the fever for the flavor of the fucker figure. She was on some shit.
Only a light-skinned nigga can
We
do
miss
that.
you, Devil in the Blue Dress.
I love it.
We miss you.
I knew that. 'Cause I looked at all your interviews. I said, in a group, it's always one nigga that's a sniper. I thought it was you, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I wasn't a sniper, though. This is what it was.
Days,
I was just young, and I was like, I got all this money and stuff.
Right.
I want them girls and stuff.
Right.
And I just got all the stuff I wanted at that time. It was fun.
Right. Was it easy for you at that time? You got
I'm a young nigga. I'm driving what I want. I'm always fly. I mean, like, it was a hell of a time to be alive.
Oh man, talk about it. Major Figgas.
My goodness. Ooh, that was a good one. So your homie Wallow did 20 years in prison. Do you know exactly what he got locked up for?
Allegedly.
Here you go talking like Malcolm X. It's 20 years ago. The man did his time.
He did. But I can't speak about what somebody else might have did or didn't do. That's
alleged. You could put alleged on it, but nobody knows.
I could put. He did 20 years.
That's it. That's what we're going
for some shit.
God damn, man, y'all Philly niggas good, man.
Nah, it's just you gotta remember.
All right, so let me ask you this. I'm a freestyle question. Was Wallow always as positive when he was home at that age as he is
You
now?
just gonna get some dirt.
I just want to know, like, this guy is...
you want the tea. What they call it?
Wallow was a positive brother. Was he always that high energy type of person that come on the block like, yo, we gonna be something today?
Yeah.
He was Calvin from McDonald's. Remember the commercial Calvin?
Yeah.
Like, he was like that all the time?
All the time.
You capping, but I'm a fuck with it. All right, cool. Because ain't no nigga that's positive doing 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Think about that.
I mean, shit.
He had a bad day.
Not a bad day. You can look at it like, shit. People that do marketing go to jail.
That's true. White collar is different than going into CVS.
It still don't matter. You know what I mean? Time is time.
You're right. All right, so cool. Good question, Juice. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Major Figgas used to kill all the popular mixtapes from Clue, Lazy K, Ron G, Cosmic Kev. Y'all flamed the Come Up Show and Hot 97 as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys get the attention of major labels?
Traveling and doing certain platforms that would get out of state.
Okay. So was Chris Schwartz the first person that reached out to y'all from Rough Nation?
The first people was Def Jam, Rock Nation, or Rocafella,
Okay.
a lot of people.
Got it.
So tell us how the song "Yeah, That's Us" came about.
Major Figgas, as a group, we just called each other on our devices, our sidekicks at the time,
That's crazy.
and we
Y'all
had
had
we on
sidekicks when Yeah That's Us came out?
yeah
Sidekick. I think you talking about Two Ways, bro.
yeah 2-way.
That's not a sidekick.
Well, I mean, we
It's not
still
the
Yeah, 'cause
however
Sidekick
it
came
go.
out
It's not the same
2011.
thing,
The
right.
Two-Way
Yeah,
Yeah,
came
well,
out
2-way
2000.
page. It looked like that shit.
It
The
damn
same
sure
old
did.
thing. You could
Damn
text
sure
So
it
who
did.
saying,
produced it?
Who produced Yeah That's Us? Fire beat.
Hot Runner. It's a guy named Hot Runner.
Where was he from?
Philly. He from Philly.
Doom, doom, doom. Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
So y'all don't know where he at now?
Last I saw him, we was working with Lil Kim together.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Who came up with the hook? Yeah, that's us.
All of us.
So all
Me
y'all
and
niggas-
Bump and
You and Bump.
and
Right.
you know.
Gotcha. Crazy song. Infectious. That song was infectious. As you cannot let it go off and not be walking around. Yeah, that's us.
And
That
I
was a
believe it was a
single.
great record.
Great record.
I would have placed it a little bit different places,
Okay. Placed it meaning what?
like pitting out certain different places.
You ain't think? Oh, okay. You saying that you feel like somebody dropped the ball on the
Yeah,
market?
the marketing was a little weird.
Okay, got it.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to go with, you got a hit single.
Okay.
All right, so you give them a record and then you drop your hit single.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying? They
Right.
placed it wrong. They shot a crazy
You feel like that to the fans.
bow and arrow.
Nah, play that shit.
Yeah, of course, but
I'm saying?
that's just the demographic side of it, the analytic side of it.
Right.
It's not traveling.
How did you feel when that was out though? Like when you go.
Oh, I felt shit. We was on Billboard charts for 64 weeks.
So
Us, Bow Wow, and Lil Sammy for 64 weeks fighting for the #1 spot. We go to #1, then Bow Wow knock us down one, and then Lil Sammy jumped past Bow Wow, and then we just, it was for 60-something weeks. That's a nice amount of motherfucking time.
that's
Shit,
Jay-Z
it got us overseas.
right.
That's right.
All right. So do you remember? Because I know you guys for the Yeah That's Us album or the Major Figures album, y'all decided to go with Rough Nation, right? What was the advance like for a 7-8 member group? And what did you spend your check on when you got it?
So
I like when niggas
We
get
got-
text doing our interviews. That's some gangster shit, right?
no. We gotta multitask, take care of business.
No,
man.
that's cool.
No, but
I love it.
no. So
The advance and then what you
no.
spent.
I'm about to give it to you, but it's like, so we got 4 advances, me and Spade, from the
Rough Nation.
no. So the Unentertainment situation.
All right, cool. So
You feel what I'm saying?
y'all had a group album. So y'all had 2 deals, different places.
Yeah, me and Spade had we signed the Entertainment.
Right.
So we had that, and we had the Major Figure situation. So
Right.
I got 4 advances from that. So when Spade went to jail, we had an overhead of $750,000, just me and him, right?
How do you get 4 advances though? Tell the young niggas how you get 4 advances.
You got to know how to negotiate the right way. So if you got something that's worth something and you know somebody's going to want to buy it, you go with the who and not the how.
Gotcha.
You don't sit there and say, "Oh, how am I going to get this done?" You find somebody who know how to do that, and you win. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we did. We just kept attacking the labels, and they would, buy us out of our last contract. It's just about negotiation. So we negotiated 4 different times.
That's dope. So with Rough Nation, did they give you any money being part of the Major Figures
Yeah.
deal on Spade?
Yeah.
Was it life-changing money or just money to go back
None
to
of
the
it
block?
is going to be life-changing because they want you to have this thing called dependency on them as a label.
Talk to the street.
You feel what I'm saying? So if you don't depend on a label, then they don't. You're not a asset to them.
Okay.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You become a liability.
I always wanted to ask you before Juice come on with her question. Did you still live in Philly during the height of your success? Like,
No.
Okay, so you did the Delawares, the Jersey?
No, I lived in Brooklyn,
Went to Brooklyn.
Fulton and Lafayette.
You was in
Right
was that
around
the hood or a brown?
No, I live around the corner from Andre 3000 and Erykah Badu.
You was a bougie light skinned nigga. Yes, you
No,
was.
we
Yes,
just
you was. the right skin.
I can't bring all that money
Yeah,
into where I'm
You
from
was smart.
without.
I like that.
I went to Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, my lawyer.
Smart.
My lawyer and my manager took us
Right.
over to Morgan Stanley and Dean Witter, and we invested.
Okay.
We want to talk about that too, because a lot of niggas don't think that you invest. They don't
Well,
know
you
you
got
go-
to, because
I
you'd
like
be
that.
broke in a week.
Whatever
Balenciagas
people
is
you
your
had
whole
around
check.
you made you.
Was you a night on Broad nigga? Because I was.
Of course you was.
I think everybody went to
Did
night
you
on
do
Broadway.
night on Broad?
Yeah, I remember there's this one stripper we all would patronize.
Right.
She had a retirement party.
Right. You look like you was a night on Broad. It's one way in and one way out.
I love it.
I loved it.
I love it.
Yo, Dutch, you still like you be on Allegheny and Diamond. You be in the
All
Badlands,
that
don't
hood
you?
rat shit, look.
Not anymore. But in my heyday, yes, I
all the hood rat
was
shit.
one of those guys.
You was one of those guys that had to.
We brought her cake and everything because it was her last night being a hoe. It was her last night hoeing.
Yo, please
God,
open
this
up
was
Night
our
on Broad. I know it
last
gets
night
shot up
hoeing.
right now, but I used to love Night on Broad. They
Oh
was,
my goodness.
in the words we say in Trenton, they in there.
We gave her a whole party for her whole last whole day.
Cook
That
juice.
is a hot mess.
No, I'm
Okay.
saying she was retiring. We bought her a cake.
And as you should. That's a job. Shit.
We tipped her extra too that night.
Okay, so let's move on. So is it true that Ja Rule told Nori from Drink Champs that he beat you and Spade in a battle in Philly? Mm-hmm. So that is true, though, he did?
No, it's true. He said it.
Yeah. But did he beat y'all?
It's true. He said it.
I like that.
Okay. So we just...
It's true. He said it. Ain't.
So is there a rematch coming? Like, no.
That was just something.
What would you do without you?
He said when we did get a chance to talk, he said that when he was doing Drink Champs, he was a little intoxicated.
Okay.
And it was a cipher. It wasn't a battle.
Okay, cool.
And
Y'all cleared it
up.
up.
So it was a cipher.
It
It
wasn't
wasn't
something
actually a
that.
battle.
Yeah, it wasn't something that he. They brought us around each other, and me and Ja was standing there, and we started the battle. And that's not how it was. It was everybody that's on tour. You meet up in the lobby, and everybody just spitting bars. But
Right.
he must have felt as though because he was the only person. But it was a lot of people that was there. So I don't know.
And I'm going to tell Ja Rule on camera that in the late 90s, early 2000, Dutch and Spade, you could not beat them in a battle. I'm sorry, Ja Rule. I love you to death. I loved all your hits with Ashanti and Jennifer.
No, he got a
Lopez.
lot of hit records.
But Dutch and Spade on the streets.
No, he
in
got
that time.
He got a lot of hit records. I
yeah.
respect.
I'm not
I
taking away
respect.
from
No,
the hit
listen. I respect
records.
what he did, but to this day, when it comes
The shit-
down to doing what I do,
Yeah, nah.
He ain't got
know,
it for you.
Let me tell you three
He ain't
things
got
that
it.
the Dutch is about.
it's just-
Koozie Bubbles.
he just don't. He's
You
just.
couldn't wait to say
Come
that
on,
here.
man.
He could not wait to
What
say
type
that
of nigga
on
say
camera.
Koozie
Look at
Bubbles?
him. Look. He cannot
Yo,
wait.
you was a fly nigga to
He
say Koozie
cannot
Bubbles, though.
wait.
I wanted to always say, when I heard it, I said, these Philly niggas got a different swag. He could say Koozie. He ain't even put J on it. The jacuzzi, you cut the J-A out.
I didn't know I was doing that.
My nigga,
it just
fucked
happened.
it up. Koozie Bubbles. Some
he's-
dick in your mouth.
that's
Like,
funny.
come on,
Nah,
bro.
but we didn't plan that though, bro.
Listen, at the end of the day, the three things that the Dutch is about was a fucking classic over that record.
Yes, it is.
When I hear that shit, the beat come on, I'm thinking Cam getting ready to fucking murder these niggas. When it went off, you like this. What just happened? These niggas on a record with Cam because then y'all inadvertently Cam was introducing y'all, even though y'all were putting in major pain in the tri-state area.
Right.
Cam is still the bigger artist, and the
We
record
was
feels,
label mates on
I know,
Entertainment,
but
so
the record still feels normal. It feels
Well, it was normal. I mean, once we signed our deal, it's like I know I'm a human being, but now I'm a signed human being, so I know how to carry myself in any instance. It's just a simple fact that it's Cam. Like, you know, this guy just did a record with Mace right before we did this. And, you know, so that was what the crazy part about it was.
Sex, Drugs, and Entertainment. That album.
Yeah, that SDE
What he did
album.
on there, the two voices.
Yeah, we got sued by the NBA.
For what?
For the cover, the first cover, it was the NBA logo with a gun in his hand, and the NBA had sued Entertainment for that shit. So we lost bad on that one. Yeah.
Let me cook. You were a dangerous MC. You and Spade in the late '90s, early 2000s on the battle scene. Artists, I can't even lie. I was an artist in that time coming up. There was Most Wanted. There was Beanie Siegel. It was The Roots. It was Roscoe P. Cold Chain. And niggas ain't want no smoke with Major Figgas, bro. Respectfully. Do you think that the battle style that we did as a collective, I'm talking about we because I was part of that era, in the 90s, that you can take that to the URL stage, respectfully? You think so? Think about Dutch as 19-year-old kid, right? Can you go and stand in front of somebody on URL with that style today? You think so? Because y'all rapped about the Dilla trying to, I look good in the 5, but the Dilla trying to 6 me. Like, it was fly shit.
But they do that in battle rap now.
They do, but it's more like, it's all about the personals and the angles.
Yeah, but that battle rapping is what battle rapping is. It's not. Those two couldn't even coincide because making a song and battle rapping is two different things.
Right. But what I'm saying is that we battled differently back in the day. It's about how many rhymes you had. And you could be rapping about some block shit as long as you saying some fly shit, niggas, it's ooh and I. But with URL, they write for the person. Does that make sense?
It definitely makes sense.
Think about Dutch being in the crib. Sometimes you was writing on rhymes, you just writing on your regular life. You're not writing for somebody. So when you battled somebody and you said, I'm in Gucci, you wearing New Balance. Like, that was just something that you said. You didn't specifically handcraft it for this person. But you still got the wild reaction.
Yeah, but rap evolved, but they still talking about the same things. There's not much to talk about in life but what happened or what has happened.
Right.
He's just so humble when he does.
I love it though.
It's just like,
all I'm saying is, listen, I'm gonna keep it. Let me tell you something, because you friends with Ooh, and we from the same projects. Me and Ooh from Roger Gardens.
Right.
And Wilson Haverstacks, respectfully, right? Me and Ooh used to be on the phone. I say, Ooh. I called Ooh one day. I said, Ooh, it's the pandemic. This shit slowing up. Ain't no shows, ain't no features, ain't no. I'm like, matter of fact, I'm going back a little early, 2012, 2011, right? I said, I'm about to jump in this battle rap shit. He said, Graham, you know how Ooh is. He said, you ain't one of them niggas.
I can't even picture you being that type of
That's
rapper.
how Ooh is. I love you though. He said, Graham, niggas on there studying you, seeing if you paid your light bill, seeing if you paid your car note, if you ever got kicked out of school. They gonna write all of that shit to come at your neck. He said, I ain't got no time to be doing that shit. He said, them niggas live and breathe trying to find everything about you. I just felt like our battle style back then, it wasn't like that in the 90s. You hopped out with your clip full. Whatever fly shit you had in the clip, you spit. It wasn't catered to somebody personally. You could be rapping about some drug shit and you still get the oohs and ahs.
It was, though.
Damn. So just
I love
say
being a gangster, things like that.
Why are you trying to persuade him to think how you think?
I was at Platinum Bound.
I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is, if you tell me something that people do differently,
right?
That in battle rap, instead of a scheme, is just a story or something like that about.
Did we have entendres and shit back in the day? Like, did we have that?
Yeah.
We did? Okay, I want to do. All right. I'm going to listen to you. Dutch, you was around Cameron and Jay-Z and all of that. I'm going to listen to you.
You listened to it already. You just didn't know. I said one big head. Shorty got the tongue to my dickhead. Dutch all-nighter to the sun on my dickhead.
Right.
Might spit a daughter or a son out my dickhead. Might catch me fucking your wife. Dickhead. Like, that's...
Yo!
Quadruple entendre.
Yo, you just left Earth with that, bro. What song was that on? Respectfully, that wasn't on. That wasn't on. Let me tell you 3 things that. Was that on that?
No, that was on
I
my
knew it
solo
was.
record
Don't give me that
Kev
look like
played
I don't
all the
know.
time.
What song was that on?
It's called Dutchie-Man.
Okay, I'm gonna go do I'm gonna do the knowledge to Dutchie.
I feel like that's the only song that I actually heard when I was looking you up when he told me he was coming on the
Mike.
show.
He said, "Mike, spit a song."
I said, let me listen to this song right here.
And I'm fucking your bitch, dickhead. Bars. Entendres crazy. They all in there.
They always
It was
been.
there.
The word
Shit, it
double
was written.
the word double entendre did
love
not start.
It didn't exist back then.
No, it did. Yes, it did. That word has
But
been
we
around
wasn't-
before us.
I'm gonna just tell you, at the end of the day, we wasn't too. See, now we looked at different shit. We didn't look at the
Right, our
entendres.
perception of things though
Right.
don't have nothing to do with a word being a word.
Yeah.
A
I'm
word
just saying that,
is,
you know how, like, we
it-
didn't-
people, the writers
Right.
that do opera and
Right.
film
They
and
understood.
theater, they knew what writing in the double entendre state would be.
Right,
You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
it. I love it. I'm bowing down to Dutch because guess what? Dutch lived the
think this
life
the first
I
time
wanted
I
to
ever
live.
seen
I'm always gonna listen to niggas that live the life I
Bro,
want to live. So
I'm
it's
not.
all good.
I'm just a calm person. I just, you
like
know what I'm
it.
saying. So it's like I'm sorry. I'm just relaxed. I'm chilling.
I told you I'm the wild cousin.
Yeah,
he
it's
don't
all
got
good.
no
Listen,
chill.
I got a
I
lot
don't
of cousins
chill.
like
I'm
that,
on.
and
See,
I
how
love
he
them
don't even
still.
let me talk.
Yeah, go ahead, Juice. Go ahead. Cook, Juice.
I love them
All right,
still.
so I
Cook.
got 2 part. This is a 2-part question. So, how did you meet Jay-Z? And did you do any music together?
So, Jay, the first time I ever met him, we were in Philly. He had a show here.
Okay.
He had already knew about all of us
Jeez.
because our DJ Clue stuff and stuff, like, you know, you send freestyles out to these people and they would hear about you already. So when Jay came to Philly, he had a certain few people that he was looking for. And he was on stage one night in the club, and I hear him call my name and tell me to come up on stage. And I ain't know, even still, when he was calling my name, that he was calling my name, because my homies had to tap me like, bro, I think he calling you. I'm like, I don't know him.
What was that feeling? Like,
I-
oh, Jay-Z know me? Or
Yeah,
like,
that it was like, I was a little lost, like, you know.
Who this guy?
Like,
Right?
no, why? Damn, this is, you forget that just because these people on TV and stuff like that, they real, they still pay attention to shit. So
Right.
it was like, damn, he paying attention to us. So I went up there, he opened up a bottle of Cristal, passed me his drink, told me to rap the raps that I rapped on the Clue tape, and
okay.
I did that, and
Right.
me, him, and Dame grew a rapport.
Right. You never told nobody what happened after that night at the club. Remember, you're Dutch. Jay-Z brings you on the show. You rhyme. You bombing in Philly. What's your night looking like that night?
I probably jumped in one of them Hot Wheels and went.
Just went home, or you took a nice little
No, I mean it was
to the crib.
and if he in Philly is an everyday thing for us in Philly,
Okay,
so it was
gotcha.
just like Jay-Z came into the town.
Right.
Then the next time you see him, you know they want to sign deals, so you got to keep going back and forth.
got
So the second time I saw him, we were, you know, at another show.
Right.
We rapping, talking. Then the next time I see him, he signed Beanie Siegel. Then the next time I saw him, we was in the studio and we recorded the Philly record. And you know,
Yeah.
he
So y'all
wanted
built a
to.
rapport.
After he heard the record, he said we're going to do a group called the Dynasty with Beanie Siegel, myself, and
Right.
State Property. You know what I'm saying? Like,
This episode was brought to you by Milagro. Shout out to my man Lewis, all the way in New York. Like I told y'all before, sometimes I get off work, I'm stressed from the high, you know, demands of work and the deadlines and things like this, and I want to go and tap into getting me a beautiful bottle from the liquor store, and I also get a beautiful model. Hey. You feel me? And I pour a little tequila on ice, and I relax. Sometimes I can mix it. I either do some cranberry or I do some lemonade. You know, when I'm feeling real, chill, I might do ginger ale with the Milagro. But shout out to my man Lewis. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Make sure you go out and get some of this Milagro. It's this tequila right here is the best tequila on the market. Look at the beautiful bottles, the shape, the color. it just pops when you see it. So at the end of the day, this is You Better Not Lie podcast, drink of choice. This is what we rocking with. So don't bring me no Tito's. Don't bring me nothing else. Milagro is what I'm rocking with. It's what Juicy rocking with. You better be rocking with it.
Yeah, I am.
Milagro. We gone. All right, cool. So at the end of the day, right, it was rumored that Major Figgas wanted $1 million from Rocafella Records. Y'all turned down Jay-Z and Dame Dash, basically saying, hey, we just as hot as y'all guys. We heating up the streets. The ladies love us. We got Yeah, That's Us out. Gilly's running around down Cash Money. Like, if y'all ain't got $1 million, we ain't entertaining y'all deal right now. My question is, do you regret that decision in 2024?
Of course.
Expound.
Only a fool wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you look at it like we didn't know that he was offering us opportunity at the time. See, that's the thing. Generational wealth and generational knowledge, which one do you want? I wish we had generational knowledge that would have showed us that these opportunities turn into businesses turn into other businesses.
Right.
And yeah, I don't like to say regret. I wish I would have made better choices because I have no regrets in my life.
Okay. Great answer.
Okay.
Great answer.
That's still you.
All right, yeah. I'm sorry. I wanted to cook, so I did 2 back to back. I'm selfish.
You always
Rest in
cooking.
peace, my man
Yeah,
P&B Rock.
it's regular.
No, it's not cool. I let you shine.
I just sit
You
pretty.
shine. You
That's
shine.
all.
No, it's cool. When I shine, you
Go.
shine. All right, so listen, just to expound on that last question, the reason why I put myself twice is not because I'm selfish. I just wanted to make sure that I get the right answer. Mm-hmm. When State Property hit the scene after the successful debut album of Beanie Siegel, The Truth, let that process, right? Did you guys feel like, damn, like these State Property guys seem to capitalize off of the opportunity that we passed on with Rocafella? Now, before you answer that, they came out with State Property clothing, right? I always thought the MF logo was fire. Could you imagine MF clothing? Like how they did State Property?
Well, that's what we was offered. We just didn't understand that it was an opportunity. Okay.
So how did you guys, to answer my question to keep it brief, how did you guys look at it when State Property came on the scene and it seemed like whatever, like you guys turned it down, but Jay-Z found a group of kids from Philly and he made it work? How is Major Figgas looking at that now? Like, I mean, then, how are you guys looking at that as it's unfolding?
They signed.
Okay.
I mean, I got 4 record deals. I'm worrying about recording these albums.
Okay.
Jay signed them. That's what it was.
Tripping.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it wasn't nothing to trip about. We gotta get it.
Got it.
I mean, of course, you look at it. I didn't never look at it like, oh, they took the deal we passed up. They took the deal that they were supposed to be offered.
Right.
We just denied a situation because you also asked the question about we wanted $1 million.
Right. Was that true?
I mean, we wanted what we were worth.
Okay.
If people didn't know about us and people weren't, it wouldn't be bidding wars going on.
Right.
So it's like, it wasn't, like I said, it was a better opportunity-based deal than it was financially. And at that time, people only, I'm 18 years old. I'm only looking at.
Cash out. Cash me out.
Cash me out. I'm not looking at, you're going to get older and.
Because we, from the hood, part of so, we understand that if we don't get it now, it may not come later.
Right.
So I think that maybe that's how you guys thought. Or you guys just felt like we the hottest in Philly, we the hottest in the tri-state area. Give us what we worth. We just as hot as you. Is that how y'all felt? Was it that arrogance?
I mean,
that
I think everybody feels that way in a competitive nature when you're doing something that's a.
It's kind of hard to feel like you're just as hot as Jay-Z, but that's me not knowing Jay.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
What I can say about that question is that it's a question that you can answer, but the way that you have to answer it is you got to answer it in a standpoint of where we were at the time, right? Where we were at the time, every label in the world wanted to sign us.
Right.
Jay-Z wasn't even as big as he was at that time.
That's true.
So it's like,
you looking at him like,
no, I'm not.
Not you. Okay.
You said that Jay-Z being big, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to see yourself being big as Jay-Z. Jay-Z wasn't even that big yet.
So he was Reasonable Doubt Jay at the time, or was he Blueprint Jay, or what?
Going into that, he was in a transition of going into that. But you still have to remember that I was signed to Biggie's label.
That's true.
I'm not like...
You're not tripping.
I just don't... That's where the world gets crazy, is because if this person is of this... They look at it like, oh, he's not a human no more. And in a career base, I was signed to Biggie's label. So at the time, without the powers that be being in favor of certain people, come on, think about it.
So you just said that you were signed to Biggie's label. Did he give you guys a good deal and a great advance? Like, what did that look like?
Well, Big was gone when we signed to the label. His manager, Lance Rivera, gave us a great deal.
Okay. Nice advance came with that?
Of course.
Nice.
Of course, you got to get I mean, that's what makes you sign it.
Right.
They want to impress you.
Okay.
So we went with a company that had a $64 million overhead.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
That's how you had to have fun.
Right.
So that's why I was like, all right, my man Un got
he got the bread, so
same
we
amount
good
of money
either way.
as you. So
Yeah, we good. All right, so listen, man. I want to do a disclaimer before I ask this question, because it's a lot of weird energy going on with podcasts where people feel like when you bring rappers on, and they may have had issues with rappers in the past, they think that you're trying to reignite the beef, but it's not. We are giving people entertainment to kind of talk about the history of where you've been and where you're going. So I wanted to put that disclaimer out there, because I hate when I see comments to be like, oh, he trying to restart the shit. We all 40. Some niggas is 50. Some niggas is 39. Niggas ain't trying to risk their life and not take care of their families. This is strictly entertainment purposes to hopefully help somebody out there. You know what I mean? So I want to ask you about the Power 99 classic interview with QDZ, where Gilly and Beans were basically screaming at each other at high velocity. You know what I mean? Where was Dutch at that time? Were you at the station with Gil during that time, or were you just moving around the city?
I was there.
You was there, okay. The tension in the room with Major Figgas and Beanie Siegel before Estate Property, just expounding on it from the perspective of the past, and why was the energy like that with Beanie Siegel and Gilly at that time in Philly?
It was a disagreement that happened.
It was a disagreement. Okay, just with one person, or was he with State Property at that time? Because you only hear Beans on the radio. It's not like, you know, he got Freeway and them, they interjecting. Like, my question is, did that interview right there cause the disconnect between State Property and Major Figgas?
I don't know. Bro, I just would rather you just ask me the question. Of what
That's
really
what I'm
wanna know.
asking.
But it's like you tiptoeing around it. And it's
How did
like
this?
you asking
Okay,
you asking a loaded question, but you won't let
all right,
it go.
so I was trying to alley-oop it, Akeem Olajuwon it. So this is what I'm going to do. What started the beef between State Property and Major Figgas?
A disagreement.
A disagreement.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And let me see what other part. Okay. And my second part of that question is, let me see. What was your thoughts leaving the station that day as an MC, part of Major Figgas? It just went down on the air. What's your thoughts when y'all jump in the car, y'all head back to do y'all thing? Like, what's your thoughts at that time as an 18, 19-year-old kid?
We're going to deal with this disagreement.
Okay, got it. Well, I ain't gonna push you, bro. I ain't gonna push you. I ain't gonna push you because you answering questions. You answering questions like you're supposed to. I'm not mad. My job as a journalist, in the words of Flip the Script, a meteorologist, is to try to get the answers out of you to see exactly. Because I know if I'm in the car and it just went down, I'm thinking like, damn, it's on. I'm thinking like, damn, it might be on. We might be trading disc records. It might be when I see these guys, it's on site. I'm just telling you, if I'm in the back of the car, that's what I'm thinking after what just happened at Power 99, respectfully. You know what I mean? This is in the past, though. You guys are all good together. I just had Oskino up here.
Before that, though.
It started before that?
Before the radio. So it was a disagreement.
There was a disagreement. Well, we're going to leave it at that. I ain't going to push the OG. We're going to leave it at that.
No, it's
All
not.
right, let's get into some fun stuff because it's getting a little hot
I'm asking
here.
the questions that the people want to know.
I understand that, but it's like, just to tell you, it's
Just
more
a
so
disagreement.
it was a disagreement that turned into my man having to do 12 years of his life in prison and a tragic situation on the other end, which is like when you bring up these types of things, it's tender situations. People have lost people. People have lost time, and you know, it's a rough type of question. But what happens with that is we were both stupid because if we was doing it the right way, Philadelphia was supposed to stay united, and we were never supposed to let nobody unknowingly or unintentionally do the divide and conquer thing. Because only thing happened was you took people who were friends and who cared about each other for the sake of the Lord of their understanding and for their own selfish reasons. It's beef. So it's like, you know,
Pointless.
So, there was a rumor that you and Lil Kim dated for a hot second. Is that true? And if it is true, was it a serious thing or just fun?
You could ask her when y'all talk to her.
We ain't gonna never see Kim.
You can ask her.
You got her
We gonna
number?
see Kim, Dutch. Come on,
Can
Kim.
I
Yo,
call
Dutch.
her?
Like,
So listen, this
you
what I'm gonna
being
tell
too
you.
cool for
Can I
comfort
call
now.
No, I'm
We're
not.
not gonna run into Kim.
No, I'm not. What I'm telling you is that, I mean, yeah, it's true. I don't want to get into the demographics of it. I'm just like, it's true. I mean,
Yeah, I salute you, bro.
people who
You's a
know,
real
know.
nigga, bro.
People who don't know. This was over 12, 13 years ago, so I don't really, you know, they people ask the question, and yeah. All right, yeah. I just get tired of people asking.
That's why this episode is called the illest light-skinned nigga in Nebraska. Because I had the Lil Kim poster on my wall.
We all did.
This was actually his girl at one point. So
Well, I mean,
not girl, but that was your friend. Let's put friend on
it's
it.
rough, man.
Friend. We'll put friend on it.
Put it like
You get
this.
a little antsy when we talk about
Put it like
Kim.
this. We no, I'm not antsy.
Okay.
We went further than we should have went
Okay, I got it. But guess what,
in
though?
business.
I like it. All right, I like it. All right, and you got another part to that, Juice? You good? All right, okay. Like you spoke earlier a couple of minutes ago, you talked about Spade had to turn in and do some time for an unfortunate situation that happened between, you know, two parties and things like that. But I don't know if you ever spoke about it on the podcast, but I'm gonna ask, how did that affect you when Spade had to turn in? What was you going through at that time when this is your partner? You know, you write a 16, he write a 16, but now the whole song is on you now. Fuck the song, but more about his well-being.
My kids call him Uncle.
Right.
So not only am I losing a brother, I'm losing $750,000 overhead. I'm losing a lot.
Right.
Time. I have to reevaluate my situation with these labels that we owe money to.
Right.
And not being able to press play on an album that probably could have, you know,
Did some numbers at that time.
Oh, what it did, crazy numbers because of the way we had it set up. But, you know.
Can you talk about what features would have been on that album, or did y'all had the album
it was
done, right?
Eve, Ludacris, and Styles P.
Okay, those are the three. No
And
Cameron.
Rottweiler production.
No Cameron on that album.
Nah.
Okay, got it.
Around that time, I think he had just like was getting ready to leave or was about to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember he went over to Rocafella, so.
Okay. And my last part to that question is, what is you and Spade relationship today?
That's my brother.
That's your brother.
I mean, I don't think you've ever heard anybody on any podcast of my faculty of people talk bad about each other because we have each other's personal numbers. If I feel something way about you, or feel like I want to say something to you, or I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna ask you, can we meet and talk as brothers? Right. Because all that social media stuff is that ain't what that I ain't never met nobody that it should be doing that.
Yeah. Like, you told me your age outside, but you got a more older soul than that, man. I like that, bro. I like that. You got real calm demeanor.
I love
been
it.
Through a lot of shit.
You evening me out right now. I like that.
I've been through a lot of shit, man.
I got you.
It's hard when you do something for 25 years straight.
Right.
I ain't never did nothing else.
You never had a real job? You ever had a real job since the Major Figgas?
I ain't never did nothing else.
Sheesh.
That's crazy.
That's the answer right
I've been surviving off of what I do.
Right.
Now I do other things now. Yeah, I have a marketing and consulting firm. Okay. My last client was Donald Trump's civil attorney, Michael T. Vanderveen at Vanderveen, Hart, Schroen, Levin, and Lindheim.
Okay. That's something to talk about.
You ever need a great attorney, you could dial 215-546-1000.
Right. That's the phone number?
Yeah.
Market, my brother. I heard that number.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing.
Right.
SEOs and coding and running audits, making sure there's no coding overloads that's going to stop the website from losing any seconds that deters business.
So you're a tech guy?
Nah, I just know what I'm doing. Just sit down and figure it out.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, is it true that Birdman from Cash Money Records texted you one day out the blue in the early 2000s to tell you he was a fan?
For sure.
A supporter, fan supporter.
For sure.
Yeah. So how was it working with them?
I always liked their music first, so just meeting them was like, damn,
I'm really doing
Cash
this.
Money motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And being around them, it was even more fun because it's like, damn, you watch people on TV, you listen to their music, and then you get a chance to hang out, and they was real cool people.
Right.
That's dope. You still do you follow Birdman on social media?
Yeah, I follow him.
You follow him back?
I don't really like me and Stunner haven't had a good rapport.
Right, lately.
No, just in a while when things start going back and forth. I will always love him as an OG. Right. But we won't really be hollering at each other like that.
But it was a good time because I watched you on the podcast and you talked about they tried to get you, they made you change your whole lay. You got down there, they told you to get the Reeboks and the Vizu jeans.
Yeah. No, it was just, but what it was they was just trying to keep motherfuckers safe.
Right.
So they know who and who with who. Yeah, but I mean, I had on icebergs, so I'm thinking like, all right, the icebergs is that shit at this time. What's wrong with my sweatsuit? I got to put the fucking jabots on.
Right.
And so, I like so,
All right, so listen, Dutch. One thing about me, I'm a student of the game. Mm-hmm. So when I knew you was coming, I've been watching your stuff. Every time I see you on a podcast, I sit and watch it and everything like that. And I seen that you said something about you think everything went left with you and Jay-Z because you saw Jay more as a peer than the iconic Jay-Z that a fan may see him as. Mm-hmm. And they said one day, I guess you got off the elevator in Def Jam or Universal somewhere, and he was president at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And you walked in the office and asked him, like, yo, you still in my shit? You starting to sound like me on records, bro. Like, and your response, I mean, you said Jay said that he basically listens to everybody and he takes a little bit from everybody. Was that, I mean, you said that out your mouth, but how did you get I'm not even gonna ask you how you get the gall, but what made you go into that office that day and address him like that? Like, had it just been too...
I don't understand why do you keep making it like Jay-Z's like this guy?
Well, just because he's president at that time, I'm thinking he has influence on other people that can sway your direction of your album coming out.
What I said to him was, are you still in my shit? His answer to me was, subconsciously, I think about people when I'm in the studio.
Gotcha.
That's what was said verbatimly. Right. He don't steal this person, and I never said that.
Okay. So you asked him, and he said subconsciously. So I'm gonna clear it up on record. You didn't ask him, was he stealing? You know, you did ask him, was he stealing your shit, right?
I said I hear similarities and my stuff and your stuff, and it's very similar. So are you, using my technique?
Right.
And he told me subconsciously, yes.
Right. Okay. But what I'm saying is that I think that's a ballsy conversation that you had. I'm personally.
He a man. I'm a man, bro. Right. It's like it's kind of like that. Disturbing. Like I don't want you to think like that, bro, about people. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm talking about,
but as a human being, I get what you're saying, but as a human being, podcast aside, we still have to be on this one page. Mm-hmm. Don't dehumanize yourself. I understand like some of the questions and stuff that you have to ask being a journalist. Right. It's just,
Yeah. I mean, when I ask these questions, understand too, I'm thinking about the regular Joe Blow. I know we're supposed to have confidence in ourselves, feel like this, but you already know in a game like this, it's like the wrong thing you say or the wrong thing you could do could close doors.
So what's regular about a journalist?
You said what's regular?
Yeah, what's regular?
I think that as a journalist, you wanna kind of come from the perspective of the people. And everybody, every person doesn't feel as confident as you. They still see Jay-Z as God.
So you still didn't answer the question.
I just
what's
regular people don't feel like celebrities. They don't get acknowledged.
What's regular about a journalist?
Person that
a journalist is a person that interviews people to let the world know what they do. So what's regular about that?
Okay,
what makes you feel like, okay, even if I was Jay-Z sitting in this chair, you asking me certain questions. What makes him different from me? He walk, he talk, he bleed, he cry, he shit, he eat breakfast just like I do.
Billions,
that still doesn't make him different because when I die and he die, none of us we go broke. We die broke. So I
ain't gonna go too far with you on that. I'm gonna leave that alone. We'll be battling all night. You absolutely
wouldn't be because I just decline to talk about it.
I'm not saying that. Listen, I'm not saying that you're wrong. What I am saying is that I'm impressed. This is what I'm trying to say. Maybe you're not hearing what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, you said, you got to remember, if they clickbait that, right, and they put it as a short, it's going to come up and say, where did you get the gall to talk about Jay-Z?
Right. But we might evoke emotion. It's some niggas going to be in
there
like,
that look. I think some people may misinterpret even giving somebody their props. We have to watch it. We got to be mindful that when we put these things into the atmosphere and put it out there in the world, I don't want to just be known for a good clickbait.
Right.
When I come and tell these stories and sit down, it's me telling you my life. I'm sharing damn near audiobook with you because these are true stories about people that people watch and they want to be these people and emulate these people, but they're the key word people.
They're human.
You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z's just some guy with money.
Right.
I'm just some guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all just these people. So it's like, I just when we talk about these things, bro, just go right in your bag because at the end of the day, you hold just as much power as this guy does with breathing every morning. We don't know his health or what his health is like. What if Jay-Z's sicker than a motherfucker?
Right.
Because he got billions, he's still good? Nah. Michael Jackson died, he had a lot of money. Prince died, he had a lot of money.
Cook.
We all got a tombstone waiting.
I like it, Dutch. I like it. You saying some real shit, though. I ain't just like I said, I'm never going to debate whether a celebrity is more important than a regular person. All I'm saying is that I'm putting myself in a perspective of a young MC, on the come up, has a history, has a story, but you're walking in the office of a man who is at the time the president of a record label, and you're not addressing him as, hey, I want to sit down and talk about my budget. I'm actually coming in here confronting you.
Right, I get what you're saying, but you're saying the president of a record label. I wasn't signed to that record label.
So okay, I got you. So you ain't have a dog in the fight.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm just figuring.
bro, what I'm saying to you,
I was just trying to figure out what building you
I
was
understand. What I'm saying to you is it don't matter what building I'm in. I'm a man, he a man. He's not going to take nothing from me or overdo nothing that got nothing to do with me. And I'm just going to sit back and deal with that at no time in life.
Yes, talk to him.
Now, maybe I could have dealt with it in a different manner.
Right.
But I don't regret nothing. So I don't. Him being the president of Def Jam don't got nothing to do with the question I asked him.
That's a fact. I got you. Like I told you, I'm never going to rewrite your story. I'm just asking the question for the people.
Right.
Because when I seen it on the podcast, I said, "Damn, Dutch did that."
Right.
Like that was crazy. Like it was just like, niggas. Sometimes niggas is afraid to have them doors closed on them. You know what I mean?
It's a back door. Every house got a back door.
Right.
And if that don't work, the windows is good too.
Or the dog latch. You can go right through the little. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Juice.
All right, so I'm probably gonna get into all your dating business, and you don't gotta answer. You can't answer. But have you dated Charlie Baltimore and Eve? It was rumored, so I want to know if it's true.
I did an album with Charlie Baltimore. That was like my sister from the label mate,
Okay.
but no, we've never did anything intimate at all.
Okay.
And it was rumored that somebody saw me and Eve at a Sixers game one time. But I don't know. I might have been there, might not.
Got it. Noted.
No, I might have been. I don't know.
Right.
Said something about us being there. And
All right, so we got a couple more questions for you, Dutch, and then we'll let you get back to your business. I wanted to say, how come we haven't saw the entire Major Figgas group or just key members together on $1 million worth of game? You know what I mean? I personally think that'd be a iconic interview. You know what I mean? With your brothers, Gilly and Wallow, having such a huge platform.
why waste it now?
You said why waste it?
Why waste it now?
Okay. Expound on that.
You keep good shit in your pocket sometimes till you just go ahead and run it.
Okay.
You gotta have everybody doing something.
Right.
So it has to make sense.
Got you.
So
I told you, I'm not pushing you. This is Gail King. I'm coming like Gail King. You talking like I'm coming. I'm doing Gail King.
I'm getting what you. No, bro. I'm getting everything you're saying, but to expand on it,
right,
is you know,
timing.
That's all it is.
Got you.
And they don't owe nobody nothing.
That's a fact.
So if we get down to the realness of it, is whenever everybody feel like they're gonna do it.
Yeah, they get around to it.
Yeah.
So, any new projects coming out? Movies, documentaries, books, albums?
Last 3 years, I dropped 2 albums. I got one, Projectiles and Cognac with Jada Kiss on it, 38 Special, and Big Ooh. Right. Then I got Numbers I Could Deal with Freeway, PD Crack, Conway the Machine, and Drama B2R. Right. And now I'm releasing JPAY and all state and federal prison system.
Okay.
So it's coming out in the kiosk first, then it'll come out.
Okay.
Right.
So,
did you want to talk? I mean, I guess you probably that's in the works, but is that a good avenue for other artists to try to explore, going straight to the prison?
I mean, Lil Durk and everybody is doing it right now. JPay actually has their own billboard.
Right.
So it's like it goes through the kiosk. So it's just we just don't know about it because they don't want us to know about it. But
right.
If anybody looking to get their music put in the prisons, I'm also a consultant and I can show you how to do that too. Okay, it's not easy because you gotta you gotta go through a lot of
steps, legal steps.
Yeah, because you gotta remember that you gotta watch what you say to these people. I mean,
you gotta watch what you say to the prisoners. Or are you talking about to the executives?
No, to the people who's going to be able to hear it.
Okay.
So they want to filter what goes on. You can't go in there and say stab the motherfucking guard.
Right. Yeah.
You can't have a song called "Stab the Guard in His Ass." And
Now, do they want clean or dirty versions? Doesn't matter.
It has to be clean. They don't allow you to listen
clean.
to stuff with cursing in jail.
All right. Okay.
Or anything like I'll be releasing a video in it too.
Right. Now that's dope. All right. So listen, man. Before we leave, I just wanted to ask you, man. A lot going on in the media with the Kendrick and Drake thing, and you and I spoke off air. I wanted to get the OG's take on the Kendrick and Drake battle. Like, what's your take on it? Like, you watching it?
I think lyrics always rise to the top.
Okay.
Whoever got the best lyrics is gonna always win. I think Kendrick won in the long run. with him.
Thank you.
I went with Drake, but I mean, I
High
get
five.
you. Yeah, Air 5. Let's say Air 5.
Yeah, from here.
I ain't mad at it.
And I'm going to throw it over there, too. Because at the end of the day, Drake did good, but Kendrick mopped him a little bit. So,
That part.
And I'm not going to lie. This is what I will say on my podcast. A couple of reference tracks came out from Drake over the weekend. Broke my heart, man. And, you know, you being an MC from the soil, writing your own material, staying up late night, looking in the mirror, you know, making sure them lines make sense, balling up the paper, shooting it in the trash. Nobody else should be in charge of your pen, respectfully. Now, I understand it's a business, but when it comes to a battle, you should have written those lyrics. So when I seen that these reference tracks came out, even though I am a Drake fan, the authenticity goes to Kendrick for the win. So I'm going to say that on my podcast. I got to take my win back from Drake, and I got to give it to Kendrick. Because when I seen those...
You was going hard for Drake, though.
I was. I thought that the Quentin Miller thing was just a flash in the pan. He came through and cooked up a couple lines. But you got other people coming out with full records, the whole record. I just can't...
No, for the record, there's only like 2 people in Major Figgas that use pens to write rap music. I ain't never used
You said that they use what?
pens. I don't use no pen.
No, I understand. Yeah, I know. Y'all went in the booth and did y'all thing off
I
top.
don't use no pens.
Okay. But what I'm saying is that if everybody in Major Figgas...
I don't think ghostwriting got nothing to do with it neither, though. Just on my opinion.
My thing is, can a ghostwriter say that they're the best? Can they say that they're the best at MCing?
It's not about who relay it, it's who say it. So it's the whole thing about it is some of the greatest records that we love were written by other people. And we love artists, like I mentioned Michael Jackson before.
Yeah, but that's not
He
hip-hop.
didn't write too much. It's still music.
Yeah, I mean, but R&B guys get a break. They get a pass.
Who gives them the break? Who gives them the
The streets
pass?
give them a break.
I don't give nobody no break.
Music
I
is
mean, because
music.
just because, so you saying that Teddy Pendergrass could write a song for Jaheim and Jaheim can sing it and we say Jaheim's not real? No, see, hip hop is the streets. R&B's not the streets. It's a difference.
What you mean?
It's not. We make love to R&B. We take, you know, we go on dates. We fall in love to that. With hip hop, it's authentic. You know this shit started from the streets. You gotta be who you are in hip hop.
Is
that the stigma or not?
It's some R&B niggas that came out talking about some gangster shit.
I'm not saying R&B niggas
And it's
can't be
soulful
gangster,
R&B.
but it's accepted in R&B that they have writers.
Okay, so would you call Anthony Hamilton on his first record? You call it R&B, right?
Of course.
Okay, then. So his first joint was coming from where I'm from. Right. I'm from. That's some hood gangster shit.
I know he's harmonizing. This is before Drake era.
He had writers on it.
I know, but he's getting a pass.
How? He's rapping about the streets.
That wasn't a rap. When you package that, that's an R&B artist. It's
no,
You can't do that.
All right, my guy.
Listen, this is You Better Not Lie podcast, episode 106. The illest light-skinned nigga in Nebraska. He debated me. He came on here, tried to OG me, little man me. But guess what, though? He been somewhere, so I'm going to respect him. And guess what? They say a fool doesn't take advice and a fool doesn't listen. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to take heed, and I respect the OG. Salute. Make sure y'all follow our channel. This is You Better Not Lie podcast. Juicy?
Yo.
Any words for him?
Nah, we out.
Get that Milagro. We in the building.